Hi, this is Shade Frey with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Steven Swenson, and this is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about the state of Wisconsin and a past tax deed auction.
Yeah, so Wisconsin is a tax deed state. Basically what that means is that the county is going to foreclose on properties after a period of 2 years passes. And then they auction up those properties to recover the money that's owed.
Yeah, now they can either have a tax deed live auction, an online auction, or they can do what's called a sealed bid. Now the bidding is going to start at the delinquent taxes, but they can also start at a percentage of the assessed value depending on the type of property and depending on the individual county. They'll make that decision.
Yeah, now they do have their own terminology, as most states do. Wisconsin refers to their tax sales as tax delinquent real estate sales. They also have over-the-counter properties that they refer to as vacant land offered to purchase. So kind of weird terminology, but that's the terminology that they use if you want to find the information.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and there's good opportunity within Wisconsin.
Yeah. Now, before we jump into some of these results to look at, we just wanted to encourage everybody to join the membership.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Would love to have you join the family.
Yeah, so let's take a look at this first sale here, which in Wisconsin we have it in Bayfield.
Yeah, absolutely. This auction took place, ended on July 8th, 2022.
Yeah, so very recent auction here. The first property we're going to look at here is a piece of vacant land. It's 6.11 acres of vacant land. So it actually sold for pretty much $500 over the starting bid.
Yeah, so pretty close to the opening bid amount, and this is where you can see where they're doing it a percentage of the assessed value.
Yeah. So that might have scared a lot of investors away, but they basically were able to pick it up for opening bid amount.
Yeah, well, and the advantage to this property, if you look at it, you may assume the road looks close to it. Well, there is legal access to this road through an easement. It has an official easement road going into the property. And so this property has a lot of potential uses. It really is overall a good piece of land.
Yeah, in fact, we'll look at some more information here. When we're looking at the maps, Steve was talking about the access to legal easement. We can actually see that here on this plat map here. It's kind of showing us, actually highlighted there.
Yeah, well, and as far as this property, you can see there's farmland out there. There's some homestead properties or homesteads out there. There's a lot of potential uses with this property, and it has a good size of it being over 6 acres, and it's also a good shape, just being a 6-acre square.
Yeah, it is. It's just a regular square lot. We actually have several images, here of the property and kind of the road leading into the property there. You can see at different times of the year. But what's really interesting, though, is actually here in looking at for comps, because the property just below it. So if we're looking at just actually right above this, this property,
where you see where it says Bayfield County.
Yep, ID 5755. That's our actual tax sale property that was picked up for $28,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the property right below it is the exact same size, and they're listing it for $164,000. Now, this property, is very similar. Pretty much, we're talking about the same area.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost identical. In size, it's almost identical in location. That's an excellent comp. In a great way to be able to say, yeah, this property is probably worth at least $150,000.
Yeah. Well, and if I was to have a preference, I'd rather have a square lot than a lot that's shaped like this.
Yeah.
So a couple of the other comps, there was some 8 acres for $259,000. The cheapest larger lot I could find that was similar was about $75,000 for 4.08 acres. So that would be on the really low end. So I think, easily between $100,000 to $150,000 could be realistic. And that $100,000 would be at the low end.
Yeah, well, and having the property right above it, that's the same size roughly, listed for $164,000 is, a great indication there. And for picking it up for only, $29,000, they did really well.
Well, and even if they were to sell it for $100,000 and spend a couple of grand going through quiet title, they're still going to make, potential of $70,000.
Yeah.
So huge profit. A lot of opportunity, in our opinion, a pretty good deal picked up.
Yeah. Now we're going to look at another property here in Washington County, Wisconsin. Let me back up here because I didn't look at the actual date here. So this property sold on July 13th.
Yeah, it started on Monday, June 27th. It ended on the 13th. And this property here is a 3.1 acre parcel.
8.1.
Yeah, 8.1 acre.
Almost 4 acres. Really.
Yeah, exactly. And this property actually has commercial use.
Yeah, in fact, we're looking at, you can see, the images of kind of a parking lot, in this, in this image right here. But if we look overhead, you can see.
Well, and you can see the starting bid as well.
Yeah, 87,000. So it's not like it really bid up a whole lot above what it opened up.
These were expensive properties opening at a high price, and it's just really looking into the individual property to determine, does this property still have value at that price? And when you get up into that higher price range of $7,500, $200,000 per land, there's only going to be so many investors that are looking at something like a Wisconsin auction.
Yeah, well, and the good news is that, the auction, the properties may start at a higher price, but they're not getting bid up, to extreme levels above the opening bid.
Yeah, well, there's still, plenty of potential profit within this.
Yeah, so here's an overhead map of this property, and from here you can see that parking lot, area that we were looking at there in the images. You can also see about half of the property, has been cleared and it was probably actively being farmed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and one thing that's unique about this property is right across the street are restaurants, different shops. There's a gas station across the street as well. So there's, it's right there within a kind of hub there at that four-way where there's a lot of different people coming in. In fact, even when I went down and looked at the street view, I was amazed by the amount of traffic even at that four-way stop.
Yeah, really, it's a great intersection, to have land on, which is basically what it is. You can kind of see how accessible and usable the almost all of that land is. There's only a half acre of it or so that is probably not usable.
Yeah, right there near where there's kind of a small pond is on the edge of the property, and so right there, we probably wouldn't use, but most of it's going to be usable. And really, what you'd be using it for, would be some type of probably commercial property, but it's possible you could do residential as well, because I did notice that not, more than a quarter of a mile away, there was apartments. So, there must be need, or there was need for apartments within that area.
Yeah. Well, and in looking for comps there, what you can basically find is that, property, it's up to about $100,000 per acre, roughly is, and so if we even just going off of residential numbers, the deal is going to make sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're looking between $300,000 to $400,000, and that would be if we're looking at the comparables residential versus commercial.
Yeah, which the commercials could be quite a bit higher. So this one's going to be a very safe deal, in saying it's probably worth at least $300,000.
Yeah, now if you're interested in our training, go ahead and check out secretsoftaxlieninvesting.com. You can click the link in the description, and you can go ahead and download our free ebook. You can also join us for our free webinar that we hold monthly.
Yeah, and we actually still have another property to look at as well here. We're going to be looking at in Brown County, which this sale actually happened on July 22nd is when it wrapped up. So it went from the July 1st to the 22nd.
Yeah, well, and we're looking at, property from several different counties here, and picking out deals that were able to be picked up in many different areas.
Yeah, so this property sold for $4,000, and it is a 0.56 acres, so it's a little over half acre of land, but it has been cleared, it looks like, and, it looks like it's usable.
Yeah, absolutely. The property also has legal access right there on either side. There's a homestead across the property. You can see some nicer homes within the area.
Yeah, it picked up for really just a low price. They didn't pay a lot for it, only $4,000. And I don't think you're going to find much of anything like this for anything less than $20,000.
Yeah, I think probably the market value between $20,000 to $30,000, would be conservative.
Yeah. Now we have another one here in Vilas County, Wisconsin. Let's just take a look at this property real quick here.
Yeah, this auction ended on July 22nd, and this is a nice 100 by 138 foot building lot, that there was really a pretty good lot. It was actually the last lot at the end of the road.
Yeah. So we've got a usable piece of property here that was purchased for just $3,600. Not a very big investment, but location-wise, it's in a good location. Being close there to the water in that neighborhood, and we can see that it's still accessible.
Yeah, well, kind of right down there where the businesses are, but still kind of on a dead-end street around trees. And like Shade said, really close to the water, a great lot. Conservative, I think, could easily be worth $20,000 plus, and plenty of potential profit within it.
Yeah. In fact, is this property right near it?
It's within the same area. It's a little bit further out.
Oh, interesting. And this one, they paid about $7,000 for. This one's a half-acre lot as well, but it is a full-size lot in this area. You can see. Similar to the lots around it.
In fact, this lot is bigger than the last lot. Last lot was about a third acre. This one's half an acre. And looking at the comparables, that you're looking around 25,000 plus. And we're being conservative here. I think you can go through quiet title, maybe do a couple of different things. You could easily get 25 to 30,000 out of it.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of these were great deals. Also, it's worth noting that a lot of Wisconsin counties have moved over from live sales they were holding on the past to now online auctions.
Yeah, there's good opportunity. There's good opportunity for investors to pick up different types of property. And even though the bidding was competitive and some of the properties had a lot higher opening bid than traditional, starting at the delinquent taxes, there were still good deals picked up. And one thing you could see is the more expensive properties were they were basing it off of the assessed value, and the cheaper properties like the land, they started at $100 or $500, and that's how they ended up selling for around $3,000.
Yeah, still lots of good deals. It is interesting, just because they start some of the properties at a percentage of assessed value. In my mind, I remember always thinking, that was not a good deal, but really, there's still great deals there, and if anything, it means better things for the investor that's bidding there, because it means you're not going to have to worry about your bid getting pushed up so high.
Well, and one thing about most of the Wisconsin counties that have tax deed properties, a lot of them won't have the assessed value on the land, because once it goes into county-held land, then automatically they put the assessed value at zero. And so to find out what the assessed value is, you need to look at some of the comparable properties around it.
Yeah, it's kind of the only way. Huh?
But really, what it's going to come down to is determine the market value. What is 6 acres like that selling for within this area? Well, here's a good comp. It's listed for 170, and of course that is for sale. It hasn't sold yet, but that still gives us a good indication of this property. Well, is this property worth 100? Is it worth 120? And as we look into the comps more, we can really say, okay, I really think this property is probably worth about $150,000.
Yeah, I think that comp is awesome. That comp is above it. Anyhow, if you like this kind of information, in addition to going to Secrets of Tax and Investing, you can also join our membership program at taxsalesupport.com. There's actually 2 different ways that you can join us. You can join us, on the website. You can also join us on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. We have three membership levels on YouTube: $2.99 a month, $9.99 a month, and $49.99 a month. And the gold membership program is going to give you access to taxsalesupport.com, in addition to the additional training that you can get through the gold membership.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for watching to the end. Be sure to hit that like button.
Yep, appreciate it.